Hello, everybody. Today's October 8th, and we're doing social and nonsense. Also, I have a package this week, which I think I mentioned on Tuesday, but I think I know who this is from, but I missed the name, and I haven't found a note in here. I can see their icon in my head.
It's a dropship.
Yeah, I think it's Andrew maybe. But they sent me a bunch of cosmetics. Daily cleanser packets, some sort of lotion. You guys want to try anything?
Which I thought was, it's Elf, and I thought that was like
it's a cosmetics brand.
Yeah, I thought it was the Lord of the Rings type of thing, but no, apparently.
A primer trio.
This is watermelon jelly cleaner.
Oh.
Watermelon glitter face mask, glitter.
Sorry.
I think this is a stripper starter kit.
Jelly Pop face kit, dew primer, juicy gloss, face and eye gloss. It is also more glitter.
Dew primer?
Yeah, D-E-W.
Package is oddly dusty.
Glassy skin balm. This is probably like what we talked about, the dolphin skin.
Oh, is that what prompted this?
Probably, yeah. Well, Nate, this person has commented before asking about makeup, so.
Is that part of the packing material?
I think that's part of the packing material.
This was a drop ship. This person never touched this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably good.
Eyeliner. That's actually nice. I'll probably use that because mine is about done.
So next week we can expect you to be pretty fabulous, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use some of it next week. I don't have any makeup on today.
Oh, are you coming next week?
Oh, so I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, chat. I should probably be here Friday. We'll see. It's a staycation. I'll be working in the yard most of that 2 weeks. Flawless brightening concealer. A brush set. Always nice. Tell me, what do you use these for?
To apply makeup, obviously.
Obviously. What do you use the sponge for? What part of the makeup?
That's the foundation.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
A shadow crown duo.
Ryan's had a couple sexual relationships.
Do you wear the makeup in those relationships?
No, but you see these things and you're like, what is this? This looks like you just ripped the corner off a sponge. What is this?
Oh, this is another priming thing. So you can.
They really want you to. They really want you to strip down to the bare metal.
Yeah, hydrating balm. I don't know what some of this stuff does, so I'm just gonna have to.
This
play
is a
with
lot
it.
of stuff. This seems like a high dollar value.
Yeah, this is a lot. Thank you. Blush. And another brush. This is a lot. Thank you very much. You guys can't. I mean, you can try it if you want. If you want to wear some glitter.
No, I'm good.
You think they're related to the Elf brand at all? Or is that just what they love?
That must be what they like, because it is all elf stuff. Thank you. Oh, I'm trying not to hit the mic. Whee! I kind of want to open the glitter now, but I won't do that because that'll be noisy on camera.
Well, if you don't like makeup stuff and you want to do other stuff, there's a Linode link in the link below. You get $100 credit. You can spin up virtual machines and play with virtual machines and block storage and Kubernetes. Doesn't that sound exciting? We've done a lot of content on Linode. You should search that out. But they also have step-by-step how-tos for setting up your own VPN or setting up your own game server or setting up your own Linux box that you learn development on. And you should definitely check that out.
And they will be hosting the game servers when we roll those out for the design portion, which will be Krista's part of the competition. You can do development portion or design portion or both. Some people did both. I don't know how they found the time.
It's going to run through the rest of 2021, and we'll probably make decisions a week or two into 2022.
And we have to shout out Linode. Not only does Linode actually give us some money for these advertisements, but Linode has been taking care of our hosting needs, and the Minecraft server has been running for 1 year, over a year.
Yes, and it is a beefy server.
For free.
Yeah.
They haven't charged us a dime for that. So
That's
thank you
nice.
again for Linode, really taking care of us and the community, not just us, all you Minecraft players.
And there's a lot of you still very active.
There's a lot, yes.
And still thinking about exactly how to make that. But you could also do a design-related Devember if you wanted.
Mm-hmm. I would love that. You get extra points for that.
We need another CSS framework.
See, there's people in the Discord that are constantly talking about their own framework, and it's like, don't waste my time with your framework.
Woofer's framework's actually pretty good.
No.
I mean, yeah,
We don't need
CSS
Woofer's
but I have to say I'm a Git Bootstrap. Getbootstrap.com. I use them a lot. But that doesn't mean you couldn't make one yourself if you wanted to learn.
I'm not. If you do a framework, a CSS framework for Devember, I'm not looking at it. I'm voting 0. We don't need any more of those.
Only if you also do the documentation for it. That's more impressive, doing the documentation so other people can use it.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, social media. How about Facebook? Facebook has a lot of power, and if they were to just flex one little pinky in your direction a little bit, they could change your life. That's what they're looking to do in Virginia.
Facebook will open its fiber networks to expand broadband access in rural Virginia. The partnership plans to connect 6,000 households this year. How bad is broadband in your area if Facebook is going to be your ISP?
Remember when they tried that in
Garbage.
Africa, and the Africans were like, nah,
No, we don't.
we don't really trust you.
Yeah.
So
This is bananas that Facebook can just become an ISP because they could make so much money from the data. What does that tell you about how badly our fiber network has been managed since the 90s?
yeah, that is another instance of you are the product there.
And if they're in Virginia, you know it's only a matter of time before they're here.
Dear pleb, we can't help but notice that you haven't been to your telemetry station in the last 3 days. Please return to that.
We require a stool sample.
And Facebook have also recognized, I believe, that they are no longer the big dog in social media. Every time they see TikTok, it's got to really hurt.
Yeah.
Because TikTok is the big one now. And how do you regain that prize? Well, they have this plan.
Facebook is spending $50 million to quote-unquote responsibly build the metaverse. What they see as the metaverse is the intersection of reality and virtual space and virtual reality and augmented reality so that we can all collaborate better together, get stuff done, and empower the human experience or something like that.
That's some good corporate bullshit talk.
Krista,
Oh, sorry.
you immediately demonetized us again. Is this going to be
I
another...
said sit, YouTube person.
Oh, right, yeah. You're going to trick the algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah. I say person who's reviewing it. They don't have people who review this.
I had a friend in college, and he actually told me one day in some really strict, lowered voice, he was like, listen, man, I promised God I was going to do this thing if he would give me such and such. And he got it, whatever it was. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, what? So you're going to pull one over on God? Is that the plan here? How does that work?
And today you learned something about yourself.
So, yeah, the metaverse, they have one piece of the metaverse so far, which is that, remember that VR where people didn't have any legs?
Oh, yeah.
That's the metaverse so far. It's a conference room app. Because we all want to be back in the conference room.
Yeah. That's the best part of the job, really. It's just talking to people, sitting in meetings.
Talking about what everybody did over their vacations.
Oh, you guys are going to get that from me.
I love it.
Mm.
But Facebook also has a little bit of a problem. You remember when it came out in the news that teen girls just couldn't wait to kill themselves because of Instagram? Well, that corresponded with the time when Instagram for Kids was rolling out.
The Wall Street Journal, Facebook is hitting the brakes on Instagram for Kids. And the headline here from CNN, this very serious-looking people, it's like, Facebook knows the toxicity of Instagram. They know. They know.
And the fact that they stopped this probably does prove that they know.
Well, no. The Facebook says they stopped it because they really wanted lawmakers to feel good about the program.
Yes, what they're waiting for is for all this to blow over, and then they're going to roll it out.
Yes, exactly.
I would argue that they were doing that because they know about this. And they know that eventually we will know about this.
The Wall Street Journal's headline is, they've got some more files that are related to that, and it's not just Instagram. The headline is, Facebook's effort to attract preteens goes beyond Instagram Kids, and these documents show it. But they also have comparisons in there to TikTok and other social platforms, and so they're basically just saying, how can we get ahead of China?
And how do we indoctrinate these kids before they get to the point where they're online a lot?
I say, 10 to 12 is a huge emerging market that they're trying to capture.
They're 12 today, but pretty soon they're going to be 18.
It's 6 short years till they move to Pornhub. In that time, we must capture them. Also, check this out. This has a little bit of a horror movie flicker to it.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I
You
really
can do that
like
in
that.
CSS now.
That's
It's just
nice.
a CSS animation.
We should use that more. Woofer, put that in the framework.
Dot Flickr is the class.
And YouTube, looking to probably head off any comparisons to that, have made this ridiculous statement.
Bloomberg has the article, YouTube CEO says platform is quote-unquote valuable for teens' mental health. And yes, I know, you should really control your I mean, this is probably not going to end well for this particular executive.
So I think the argument here is that when you were destroyed mentally by Facebook and Instagram, you could go to YouTube and watch videos that would restore your sanity.
My takeaway was similar to that. It was basically like when you're damaged goods, you can connect with other people that are damaged in the same way and feel better about it. And it's like, I don't think that's the message that you want to say.
That only leads to furry conventions. So, yeah. I mean, YouTube is an amazing resource, and you probably could learn to do almost anything, including mental health.
Yeah.
If you really dedicated yourself, but are teen girls going to do that?
Well, see, I think YouTube, maybe that's true of every platform. I feel like Instagram maybe is the worst part of it, but like YouTube can really be whatever you want it to be. Like there are whole sections of YouTube that don't deal with like making you feel like shit about yourself as a person.
Mostly.
Boom!
Yeah.
Demonetization.
Listen, it's the Friday before a vacation. I just don't care. I got to get out of here.
Well, Krista, you say that you can do anything on YouTube, but there is one thing that you must not do on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, this is new. YouTube will remove videos with misinformation about any...
Blah, 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 blah.
yeah, I can't even say the word.
The jabs. We're not talking about boxing.
Oh, I thought that, the algorithm might mishear that and then also get flagged.
I bet jabs is a keyword now.
The punctures.
Yeah, punctures. There we go.
I can't scroll down, but they do lay out bullet points. And I agreed with all of them except one. And I can't tell you which one it is.
Thanks to Linode for sponsoring this mess.
But it was one that I'm very confident is not a true fact.
Yes.
And if you say it's not a true fact, you fall victim to it.
Yeah. And then we had this.
And then the same woman.
I mean, can we get Ron Howard to read this? Because I feel like this is what's required.
Well, we got to think back to remember the original Russian stories we did on Tuesday, where they banned RT either right before or right after this.
There's always this kind of juxtaposition in our stories. It's always there. You just got to look for it.
And so either they did this right after or right before a huge ban. Either way, she knew what was coming, right?
Yeah. Free speech is a quote-unquote core value, the YouTube CEO says after blocking Russian opposition videos.
As we've made multiple jokes about demonetization and we can't swear and we can't say this word and we can't tell you how we really feel about this thing because otherwise we'll be demonetized.
Now, this is not the same. This was not RT, not the Germany RT ban. That we're talking about the Navalny.
The voting thing.
The app, yeah.
Yeah. These were videos related to the app.
We had some pro-Russian comments in our video.
We did,
did
yes.
Yeah, I wondered if those were
bots.
AstroTurfers.
Yeah. Those aren't real people.
They're good at identifying the videos that they should attack, aren't they?
It's the transcripts. Yeah. It's easy to search the transcripts.
Just like when Krista curses like a sailor.
I've seen some of the bots on local news articles.
Yeah.
About certain things. There's a solar project around here, and like you'll see tons of comments on it, but then if you click on some of the profiles, they're from like other states, and they only post about that thing, and it's like that seems strange.
It's an anti-bot.
Yeah.
That's renewable energy. That's probably just shell, right?
A big coal.
Yeah.
TikTok. Now, a lot of people, I think Trump was a big advocate of this, right? They didn't want any social media in the military.
Yep.
Remember the Fitbit thing?
Forbidden.
The Fitbits were forbidden because people were jogging at secret military installations. And that was going out onto people were like, well, that's weird. There's a circle all around this empty spot in the desert. What's going on here? Similar kind of thing.
Secret military aircraft possibly has been exposed on TikTok. There's this thing, nobody can really make it out, and there's some pictures, and we got a video, and what's happening? What is this?
This is like 4chan's favorite drug.
Yeah.
You give them a weird, obscure photo. Now, this, of course, the aerial shot, that wasn't part of it. obviously they went and got that, correlated everything, did their sleuthing, and tried to figure out what is this thing. Probably a stealth aircraft.
Or a part for one.
Of all the things 4chan does, I feel like this is probably maybe the most benign.
But they get it incredibly wrong a lot of the time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, remember when Shia LaBeouf was hiding that flag in all kinds of crazy places, and they could find it
That's the one I was
time?
thinking
Yeah,
of.
that's so good. But there were a lot of mass shootings where they applied the same kind of thing and got the exact terribly, terribly wrong guy.
Yeah.
So
Maybe not as benign.
all right. As long as we're just messing with celebrities, then that's one thing. But when it's everybody else, that's a problem. And this probably explains a lot of why Facebook is stressing so much.
TikTok just reached 1 billion monthly active users because it is super addictive.
I'm holding strong. I haven't gotten a TikTok yet.
Yeah, okay. I haven't gotten TikTok either, but how many YouTube TikToks do you consume every week?
They do pop up on other social media sites a lot.
Yeah.
Like Imager is a lot of TikTok now because they have that stupid little thing in the corner.
Wait a
Really,
minute.
really enjoyed that sea shanty.
Did we do that story yet? Oh.
Ah,
How appropriate. I didn't mean to do that at all.
Google seeks search deals for TikTok and Instagram videos. So this is going to be great. You know how when you search for an image and you get nothing but worthless Instagram results?
This is Pinterest.
Pinterest, yeah. Now it's going to be TikTok.
But I like the TikToks I watch on YouTube. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not something I care that much about because it's such a short burst of entertainment. I see TikTok as like those little fun-sized Snickers. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time with this.
TikTok's kind of like, it's basically just Vine. Does that make me old for remembering Vine?
But it's like, I know this is bad for me. As much as I'm going to have a little burst of endorphins, I know I shouldn't have this in my life right now. And it's so little joy that I can actually look it over. It's just going to make me think about missing it right after I've had it. I guess that's the addiction of it, right? It's crack. That's the crack.
Yeah. My
business
mom
model.
has a TikTok. I can't get over that.
I thought you were going to say your mom's on crack.
No.
That's so dark.
No, that'd be too dark to reveal.
Yeah. You got to hide that.
Yeah, that's something you don't mention casually in a YouTube video.
The other thing about TikTok is it seems to be more suited for things becoming viral, right? Things can explode off of TikTok better than all the other platforms, it seems like, which is bad if someone uncovers something that you don't want uncovered on TikTok.
A teenager on TikTok disrupted thousands of scientific studies with a single video. This is a video that was like, hey, here's some side hustles you can make money. Here's a link to paid research. And so there was a flood of people that watched that video that were to paid research links where they normally don't get that kind of traffic. They needed a random cross-sampling of traffic, not that. And it was enough to skew things. And so now they have to throw out those results.
Aw.
They went from a pretty random sample of just whoever wandered in, it turned out that was pretty diverse, to mostly teen TikTok girls.
Oops.
The data's not useful anymore. Unless you're studying teen TikTok girls.
It's not just girls, though. Everyone uses it.
Yeah, but she
Ah.
prompted her followers, which was overwhelmingly teen TikTok girls. And probably like thirsty older men
Ugh.
who didn't click the link because they're not interested in that content from her.
They don't need a side hustle. They're interested in becoming a sugar daddy.
They're already sugar daddies.
Maybe that was the implied side hustle. That's what she should have. It's like, oh yeah, here's your.
Maybe she's doing the survey so she can keep from having to do that. So I threw this in just because I've been absolutely loving watching the lava flow. Have you guys been watching that?
Yeah.
I watched a
there's
little bit
live
of it.
streams.
I watched
Yeah.
it destroy a house.
When the lava flow goes into a swimming pool, that's one of the most satisfying things in the world I can watch. Because it's like, oh, it's going in. Oh, here comes the boil. It's boiling.
Yeah.
It's boiling. That's so exciting.
It is a crazy amount of energy that can be stored in rock. Who knew?
Yeah, and sometimes it will just magically spare a house. And I love that too. I think that is so
It
great.
just flows around the house.
Now here's the thing about it. That lava, when it settles, do we just bust that up and sell it for landscaping?
Yeah,
Or does it all flow? Because it can't all flow, right?
it kind of does.
But I think there's different types of lava composition. So
But
it
what-
depends on what it is.
Will we ever get down to those houses that are under it?
No.
So we should just be piling trash in front of it. Just empty the landfills and just put lines of trash in front of the...
I'm pretty sure that releases lots of bad things into the atmosphere.
Nah, it'd be on top of them. It'll be like carbon capture.
It burns it. It's just going to release it as smoke.
Anyway, I just love watching them.
Spanish eruption escalates, prompting evacuations in an airport closure. This is on a little island.
La Palma.
Yeah, and it's destroying a lot of stuff.
I think it's probably done by now, right?
I think it's still going. There's also an eruption in Hawaii. But it's a small one compared to this.
We only need about 12 or 15 more of these to offset global warming. So I think we should probably hope for more of these.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yellowstone caldera 2024.
We need a lot of smoke in the air to reflect the sunlight so the planet cools off.
Oh, there's one of the miracle houses. Look at that. How great is that? So there's no road to get back there. Can you get to your house after this?
Probably not.
Not until much later.
I was thinking about this, Krista. I was thinking about myself for this, right? So this happened so fast that some people tried to come home and they were just had the roadblock up and they're like, nope, you're never going back there. It's gone. Say goodbye to it. What if Rue was there?
God, that'd be so upsetting. Well, that happens all the time with the wildfires and stuff. Or the hurricanes, all these natural disasters that are happening.
You got to get electronic locks and stuff so you could remotely release her.
She's not going to be smart enough to get out of there.
I wonder what they did in this case. I don't think I read anything about that, but it's a tiny island. Do you think they let people take their pets?
No, I think once it gets to a certain point, they don't let you go in there. So do you defy that and go in on a foot?
No, I'm saying if you're evacuating, would you just would they let you take your pet?
Well, how are they going to stop me?
Because if you're on a tiny island and they're like, here's the ferry to evacuate, you cannot take an animal on the ferry.
Oh, you don't have to get off the island. You just have to go to where the lava's not going to be. So it's actually fairly easy for a human to get away from it if they got enough time, just not a house.
I'll just take the animal. I'm
going back for my cats.
Yeah, I would too.
And after I get my cats and I come out of there, I'm also going to be dripping with guns. So it's either me and the cats or you.
You just shoot the lava.
It would just splash onto your face and you'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, what
a headline this is. What a horrible day to be literate.
You just did a remodel. How fancy did you go with your toilets?
Me?
Yeah.
Upper middle of the road.
Not electronics, though,
No.
right? What about a bidet?
I did put in provisions to be able to do a bidet, but I did not actually.
So you got your water line, you're just waiting. What about, you going to heat it?
Water line and electric, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is technically a code violation. You have to get a variance for that.
So when the time comes, you could just go ahead and pop one of these right in. You'd be one of the early adopters.
The smart toilet era is here. Are you ready to share your butt print with big tech?
Analprint. That's how I pronounce that. That's how you say that on YouTube. Analprint.
So yeah, this is talking about the new era of smart toilets and how it can figure out if you're getting enough fiber or not or whatever and that kind of thing.
But more importantly, more than one person in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to know who's pooping.
Just put a fingerprint reader on the wall next to the thing.
Or get a QR code tattooed on your butt cheek.
Yeah, some people keep those journals next to their toilets, like the poop journal. This is like a high-tech version of that you never forget to write in.
Yeah, and they're saying that they'll be able to monitor not just consistency, but color and all kinds of things to give you a heads up.
If you're starting to get sick.
Oh, it's exactly the same model as the one in the bathroom here upstairs.
What, you mean the one at your house?
Mm-hmm.
One of the plans that they have for possibly doing this is based on your poop. It's going to recommend recipes.
You definitely need more fiber.
So that's amazing. But it's a privacy violation, so I don't think I'd ever be comfortable having one of those. Right? Unless I knew that it couldn't get out anyway. But it's going to be Wi-Fi, right? You're going to run Ethernet to your toilet?
There is a connection there, just in case.
Oh, wow. We laugh about it now, but people in 20 years will be looking back and be like, what's the big deal?
I'm just hoping that it's like, oh, you should have put fiber in more places. And it's like, it's probably fine.
Was that a pun?
Put more fiber in.
Fiber, because the network, and then also fiber because you eat it.
Do you know, I don't know if all the countries of the world have this. It's probably a pretty American thing, right? But at Christmas around here, some people go to incredible lengths. They outfit their home with lights and animatronics and music, and some people even do it with an FM transmitter. So you can pull up, turn on your FM radio, and hear the song that the lights and the animatronics are working alongside with. It's crazy. This story is if a horrible person did that same thing, and not for Christmas.
A family says their neighbor plays recordings of racial slurs and monkey noises, but police say that that's not criminally actionable.
I'm going to call BS on that.
Well,
If they live in a city, especially.
Yeah,
Were you saying BS that they did it, or BS that it's not criminally actionable?
That it's not criminally, because there are usually noise ordinances
yeah.
in cities.
Well, I don't know how loud this is, though.
Loud
And
enough if they can hear it from their house. I
But-
would say probably actionable.
In your city, the noise ordinance is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So as long as you're not doing it in those hours, you're fine. Wow. So here's what happened here. This is crazy. He took, clips from movies and songs and stuff like that, but in such a way that they are incredibly racist. And this family, obviously it's a black family that moved in next door to him. And so whenever they leave the house, he plays something related to who you are. So it's not just these neighbors. All of the neighbors have their own custom sounds that happen whenever they leave or come back. Now here's my question. Is he monitoring this, or does he have image recognition on their cars?
That's terrifying to think about.
Either way, it's not a good situation.
Also, couldn't the family bait him then by coming in at a late hour so that way that he breaks the noise ordinance and then it could be actionable?
Unless it's completely automated and then he turns it off. Something tells me he's the kind of guy who's dotting the I's and crossing the T's. He knows
What a
exactly.
jerk.
I mean, you don't do something this aggressive and this crazy unless you have a high confidence, right? Or unless you're just completely insane.
You could be completely insane.
But he does have a high level of technical skill. It's a dangerous combination. But yeah, the police are like, oh, he's just playing sound effects. Really not much we can do about that.
Wouldn't that be considered at least harassment even though?
But he's not directing it toward anybody. He's just playing noises at his house.
It's definitely enough to be unsettling.
Yeah. How long before he escalates that? Because no one...
Yeah, I was just thinking, what's the most likely, escalation?
Well, you could definitely probably, I don't know. Depends on where they live. Some places in America you wouldn't be able to do this, but some you would. You could maybe count on a jury nullification, right? Just beat the living daylights out of him. And when it comes up in court, be like, yep.
Yeah, I did it.
I did it, and here's why. Here's why you should not prosecute me for that. It's
Or
a
they could
gamble.
find something equally... See, I don't know that you could beat someone who's that keen on being a jerk. But maybe you could find something equally petty revenge.
That kind of personality, though, is going to keep escalating. With
Yeah,
you.
I don't know if there's a winning game there.
Also, I think it said they've been there for a year, maybe. So they bought at the top. And they can't even sell out right now. They'd be selling for a massive loss.
That sucks.
Elizabeth Holmes, the trial keeps playing out, and we keep getting more and more horrible, horrible revelations.
It's a lot of weird stuff.
Elizabeth Holmes wrote personal notes to herself about becoming Steve Jobs as Theranos' collapse began. That kind of thing doesn't work out well.
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because they said that the book titled Becoming Steve Jobs came out right around that same time. I think she was just giving herself a note to buy the book. But she made a lot of notes, and of course she wore that turtleneck all the time because she worshipped him.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the one thing that I could never love about her.
Turtlenecks.
No, the fact that she idolized Steve Jobs.
Oh.
But all this stuff is coming out, and it's painting more and more of a portrait of a very disturbed woman.
I like the one about talking the former Secretary of Finance off of a cliff.
The cliff being, hey, is this all a fraud? Should I abandon this? Yes, you should have.
Oops.
We have a new world's richest man. At this point, it's just a leapfrog competition.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, now the world's richest person, told Forbes he's sending Jeff Bezos a silver medal. It's number 2 with a silver medal around it. And I feel like this is only going to... we've been getting reports out of Blue Origin. I think we have some of those in the nonsense section about an unhinged Bezos. And I think that's only going to exacerbate things.
He gently puts down the silver medal. You know, he's sitting there. He's thinking about it. He steeples his fingers. He hits the speakerphone button, and he says, Jeeves, we're going to have to build a bigger space dick.
Demonetized.
We already got it. It's already gone.
Do you think, do you think that when they're sitting around and doing all this stuff that he's like, oh, if I hadn't gotten divorced, there's no way that he could touch me. But I remember when we were talking about it, and it's like, oh, he's only going to have $70 billion after the divorce. Will he ever recover? And I think we have our answer. That feels like that was 3 weeks ago.
He's back to 200.
Yeah. I mean, what is going on with the crazy economics of this world? Workers are more productive than ever, and yet everything is collapsing around us. I'm freaking out.
But wouldn't that mean that he would be real close to $1 trillion at this point?
They keep getting this kind of press, and I'm like, you guys are really pushing it in the court of public opinion the more you do this.
I think the McKinsey thing earned him good PR, right? Because he didn't contest it at all.
Yeah.
He was just like, here you go. Here's half the
No, I
money.
think it earned her good PR because she gave a lot of that money away. I don't know that it did anything for him.
But if he would have gone to divorce court?
Yeah, or fought it or been weird about it.
But he also he cheated on her, so it's like, now that's all public. And then he did the Blue Origin stuff. People don't like Jeff Bezos.
Well, yeah, it's tough to be likable as the world's richest man, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you another group of people who aren't very likable, politicians, especially city council, because they don't have a lot of power and they're usually really addicted to it. These folks in particular, I think, are because when it comes around to a time when one of them might be replaced, they've found a little workaround.
Hamilton councilor job is too hard for the general public to apply, the council says. Council voted Wednesday in favor of a process that will appoint someone to represent Ward 5. And it's like, oh, that doesn't sound
who gets
good.
to appoint?
Oh, the existing people.
Oh.
Gosh.
That's a problem.
That sounds a little bit like what Jinping and Putin are doing.
Oops.
So yeah, they pointed out a lot of the arguments, and this goes back to the whole job interview thing, right? One of the requirements is they're like, no, you have to have government experience. You can't do this job without government experience. And then the other side was like, there is not very many lower government jobs than this. Where do I get experience?
Yeah.
If not this. Not even going to let them be a part of an election. Are their names pronounced Laundrie? Landry?
think
I
it's just
assumed
Laundrie.
Laundrie. Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Someone will correct
Engagement
us.
challenge, yeah. But the pretty blonde girl that everybody's freaking out about because she's dead. Well, they're still looking for her boyfriend. Is that what he was?
Yeah, boyfriend.
And the real, for a while it was just the cops and the FBI and stuff, the losers looking for him. But now the real professionals.
Dog the Bounty Hunter has sent a canine unit. There's 3 of them. They left on boats to go to an island where they got a tip.
3 of them and dogs.
Mm.
I haven't seen an update to this. I don't think he found them.
Probably
No,
not.
I don't think so either. It was trending for a while that Dog the Bounty Hunter was involved.
You think that guy's alive?
Probably.
They did go to the campground. The parents did. And signed in. Why would you sign in?
That's weird.
Everything about that is weird. That whole case is strange.
Well, a little bit of wokeness eating itself. I love these. God, I love these. And RGB, or RBG, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I also say RGB when I see her initials.
Everybody's favorite dead Supreme Court justice. Not everybody's, but a lot of people's. Back in the day, back in the 90s, she had some interesting things to say that were very feminist. And these days, they're evil?
ACLU chief has apologized for altering Ruth Bader Ginsburg's quote with gender-neutral language.
So, it was a very epic quote, and when they reprinted it, they said, that's going to trigger some people. We better change it.
Decision whether or not to bear a child is central to a person's life,
Woman.
to their well-being,
To her.
and dignity. When the government controls that decision for
Women.
they are being treated as less than fully
She is
a fully adult human responsible for
her.
own choices. Oops.
That was the ACLU, and they took a lot of flack from the RGB fans. They promised not to do it again, but at the same time, in between the lines, they were kind of like, we were right. It's you that's wrong. And another terrible.
I read this and it was just like, oh no, someone tell him this is not.
Here's what you have to do, and for some reason, like this is, you cannot fight this logic, and yet they do. Just change the adjective. If you change the adjective, and you're just like, oh, we probably shouldn't say something like white affinity housing program. That's going to raise some eyebrows. If you can change the adjective and it sounds horrible, it's horrible.
Washington University creates segregated housing specifically for black students.
Change the adjective. Don't say it, but change the adjective.
Is this like a scholarship program or?
No, it's one floor of a dorm. But here's what they say about it. And they do this, I think, just to make it legal. You don't have to be black to go there. But can you imagine the asshole that just shows up? It's like, here I am. I'm the yogurt-covered raisin. Because they will not welcome you. I guarantee it. Remember we have the one person in the Twitch chat who is constantly trying to get us to use these tobacco products.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, not this particular one, but just general tobacco products.
When I was a young man, I've always been very curious about the world. I'm the one that watches the beheading video just because I'm like, I wonder what that's like. And then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Now I'm going to have nightmares.
That's really bad.
I'm going to have to eat an entire half gallon of ice cream to offset that.
But I had the same thoughts about tobacco, and I tried both cigarettes and this stuff, and I remember thinking, that's horrible. Why would anybody ever do that? And then other people who use the products, they were like, oh, no, but give it 2 weeks. It's going to be amazing. It's like, you're asking me to spend money and health.
Yeah.
To spend health points for something that I have to learn to like? Why would you do it?
People are lodging nicotine pouches in places they definitely do not belong, but I fear not speaking because of the thing. Health experts warn it can cause skin damage and lead to addiction. Well, yeah.
But here's the thing. The same blood-brain crossover, you're not going to get more in those places, right?
No.
It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
So, do you have to choose one orifice to get cancer in?
It shouldn't be one of those.
I don't know. Would you rather have your mouth or those?
How about just don't do it?
Maybe that's, maybe if you're being an informed consumer, you look up the remission rates on the cancers of each orifice, and then that's the one you pick.
Is this article from Philip Morris? I feel like this article is from Philip Morris.
But these are kids doing it. So, you really
They're on
have to want it.
WebMD looking that up.
Yeah.
What a weird... Another terrible day to be illiterate.
Yeah, it's astonishing. Now, you remember they have the thing where they would soak the tampons in vodka?
Yes.
But you get something out of that, right?
Yes.
You feel the effects of it in a big way. Tobacco just doesn't do that.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. Oh, well. Krista, you've abandoned the van life because, you don't follow your dreams.
That might be our title. Something to do with
abandoned. We'll forget that by Tuesday. But
here's the thing about it. What if you could have done it all along and just let somebody else live in it?
Vans being used as illegal Airbnbs found on NYC streets. Vehicles are impounded.
Now, the New York City police went as far as to call this fraud. I don't think this is fraud. I think this is really clever, enterprising people. If you own a parking spot, or if you're entitled to use a parking spot and you want to put a van there and let somebody live in it, that sounds very entrepreneurial to me.
It's an Airbnb is a limited stay though. You can't stay there very long, I thought.
And there's also going to be rules about living in a parked van.
Yeah, if
waste management becomes a problem.
That may be against the rules, but it's not fraud.
Now, what if we took it out to some public land?
Then it's probably okay because you can deal with the waste.
But is it okay with Airbnb?
Actually, can you rent a van on Airbnb?
Here's the other problem with that, right? Airbnb, one of the things about trusting Airbnb is they always know where they can find you. But that takes that away.
Because you could just drive it. I think most of these are immobile though, or they don't give you the keys. They just give you the door key. They don't give you the engine key.
Yeah, but if you have a terrible experience, and then it's like, oh, let's go back and talk to that guy, and then it's just an empty lot. I guess they'd have payment info.
Yeah, you'll still be able to get a hold of the renter or the landlord.
Well, When it comes to dangerous jobs, like firefighting is up there. Working in a sawmill, that's incredibly dangerous. Some of the just really insanely dangerous jobs, I don't think any of them hold a candle to Chinese civil rights lawyer.
Civil rights lawyer Chang Wai-ping tortured after speaking about past torture. And oh boy, it really does sound like torture. And then his lawyer was like, do we really have to...
His civil rights lawyer.
Yeah, to do that? And then he was taken again.
And specifically warned, be careful what you say to that lawyer. Now, I don't know what this thing is, but I'm terrified of just the name. 6 days and 6 nights in the tiger chair. What is the tiger chair?
It's a chair. You're naked. And the chair, like they whip you first and they smother the chair in tiger balm.
I don't think that's what it is.
Might be.
So the U.S. prisons have a chair, which what it does is like your feet are under you, buckled back, and then your hands are behind you, buckled back, and you're reclined back like this, and you can't move. And then they put the spit mask on your face, so you guys ever seen the diving bell and the butterfly?
Mm-mm.
Wow, Metallica fans will understand that reference. That's what it looks like. It's a horrible thing, but I don't think they're allowed to leave you in it more than like an hour. So 6 days and 6 nights sounds pretty bad.
Sounds like a violation, yeah.
Seems like a good way to get a blood clot if you're forced to sit like that for...
That's American laws. China probably doesn't have that thing. And people have died in those chairs, absolutely.
Yeah, that is definitely a human rights violation, which seems like he should... Like, the irony there is, like, should we not... Maybe it's like, this is really bad. And then it's like, oh... Well.
I think it's like crucifixion.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can get into a position where you just can't breathe. And then you're dead. Well, rabies. Rabies is one of the most terrifying diseases in my mind because it makes you really thirsty, and I hate being thirsty. Like, that's how it kills you.
You're also afraid of light.
Yeah, terrible, terrible thing. So when you get it, you should definitely go ahead and let them treat you because it's really bad.
A man died from rabies after waking up to a bat in his room. It was Illinois' first human case of the virus in nearly 70 years.
I woke up with a bat in my room a few years ago, and my landlord laughed at me. And I said, "Are you going to pay for my rabies shots?" And then all of a sudden they were like, "We'll send someone out immediately."
Look at this guy.
They are cute.
That one looks kind of evil.
Well, he's angry. He's being held.
Am I being detained? So, yeah, they could have saved this guy, but he was like, no, I don't want your... He was old. I think he was in his 80s.
Did they give you a course of antivirals after?
Yeah, he was in his 80s, found the bat on his neck, I guess snacking on him.
Oh.
Declined post-exposure treatment, died. They went back to the house. There's a whole colony in there.
Sort of horrifying.
Let's just let the bats have the house, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you guys have won. You killed him, you get the house.
You guys have won, and most of you probably have rabies.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
What do you want me to set the thermostat on before I leave?
It's forever. Just leave forever.
Now, Krista, you are, you're big into the survival scenarios.
Right.
So if you are hiking from the U.S. to Canada and you run out of potable water, what is your first move?
And there's no streams or anything?
Right.
Set up a solar still.
Wrong. What you do is you look for pools of urine.
Right. Hiker allegedly boiling bear urine to drink started Fawn Fire. I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that she was boiling bear urine.
Oh, well, I don't know if it was actual bear urine that she found, but she found a puddle of something, and she decided to boil it. She was not able to start a fire. That's how bad she was at survivalism. Or at least she wasn't able to start a fire quickly. But then after she had left, the fire got started.
Ooh.
And then California burned. Do you prosecute her? She's criminally stupid.
Well, it depends. Was she in a situation where she needed water to survive?
Oh, yeah. She was severely dehydrated when they found her.
Okay, so she was lost.
Yes.
Then they might not. If she was just like hiking out for a day and was like, man, I really
Nope.
need water, and then she just started a fire when there's a burn ban, then she would be liable. But if it was an emergency, they might have mercy, maybe.
She was attempting to hike from California to Canada with no supplies.
Wait, was she doing the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail?
I don't know.
With no supplies.
No supplies. That's not doable.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like, you have to carry some stuff on your back.
That's just terrifying.
Resupply in towns.
Admitted she was trying to relieve her thirst when she found a puddle that contained the animal bodily liquid. To purify it, she tried boiling what she collected.
What is she boiling in?
There's a lot of unanswered questions
Yeah.
here.
How can she be hiking
Well,
with
she
no
contacted
supply?
the authorities when she saw smoke, so it was like, oh, maybe I did start a fire.
8,595 acres burned because she is an idiot.
It doesn't sound like she was she was dehydrated, but it sounds like it wasn't like oh crap, I got lost and I'm trying to find my way out and I have to boil water. It sounded like, yeah, like I'm an idiot and I didn't take precautions I should have.
Also, crazy eyes. You can't tell me those are not crazy eyes.
I'd probably be a little crazy if I drank bear urine too.
She didn't even manage to drink it. She didn't even get the super bear powers.
Well, that we know. Has it been a full moon since that happened?
Oh, God. You don't want to be her cellmate.
Yeah, when you find out she has super bear powers.
And our final story is one that I fear is going to end in tragedy. How can this happen? It's too delicate.
William Shatner, beam me up, Jeffy. He's going to space with Blue Origin. So this is a TMZ article. But yeah, William Shatner and Jeff Bezos are going to do a thing. Now, Shatner shopped this to Discovery. Discovery turned him down. They couldn't work out deals of the production. But Shatner's going to do this. And it's probably going to be a video or some kind of thing where Shatner makes a bunch of money.
They're shooting a documentary.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to shop it after they get back. What those documentary filmmakers are hoping is that he dies.
Oh.
Because imagine.
Jeff
Also-
Bezos, do you think Jeff Bezos, what's the better scenario for him? He survives or he dies?
Can we really blame... Well, we can blame Jeff for letting it happen, right? But that raises a question of, can we restrict who goes into space?
Oh, we had this story about how NASA was saying that Blue Origin was just like not possible for them to do anything safely.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh.
put stories about that, but maybe they didn't save when I added them.
Did you put it in the comments?
No,
No,
I put it in the
it was in the
list.
list.
Yeah.
Which section was it in?
I think the links were messed up on a couple of them, but it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
It was the NASA
spats
lawsuit thing.
between Bezos and Elon, and then there was also spats between NASA and Elon. Or not Elon, but Bezos.
We'll have more of that story stuff next week, but yeah, NASA didn't really paint a really particularly rosy picture. of
NASA
what's
went
going-
kind of nuclear in that post about, like, Jeff Bezos is public enemy number one as far as we're concerned.
or just Blue Origin, just,
Yeah.
It's like there are the technology. They were immediately going to ask for a delay, and then Blue Origin was like, "Well, yeah, we were going to ask for a delay because we didn't think that was reasonable." It's like, but SpaceX is ready to go.
Yeah. Well, then there's the argument about, like, if we're doing this to increase how well and quickly we get to space, when is that working against us because they're just fighting?
Yeah,
Yeah. That was what NASA, because they were like, we depend on public goodwill and, like, to be able to get our stuff through the contracting process. And if anything holds us up like this, public will fades and then no one wants to go to Mars.
and then the funding is reassigned.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So Shatner's going to go into Earth orbit. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You mentioned, like, should we determine who goes into space? Aren't there pretty strict health requirements to be an astronaut?
Well,
You're going to have to climb a ladder, right?
yeah,
You think you can do that?
probably.
Well, they make you do, like, the vomit comet and, like,
Nah,
they
they're
check
not.
your health, like, make sure your heart's not going to explode or you're
You-
not going to have a bout of appendicitis or something.
You cannot put William Shatner in a centrifuge. You can't do it.
He gets around pretty good for a 90-year-old, but yeah, I wonder if because some of those early documentaries, he was like, I'm not all about the Star Trek, blah blah blah. I wonder if some part of him is like that thing that I didn't like early in my career. Like one of the final things of my existence is going to be going into orbit, maybe, or at least attempting it. And
What if he thinks he's going to die?
well, I mean, whatever that is, I wonder if it's like some sort of like spiritual thing, or if he's just like, yeah, the fans are going to be super into this. I'm going to do it and go out with the last hurrah.
Yeah, I mean, waking up every day at 90 and you just want to die. Everything hurts. You know, you're bleeding from all of your organs. And you're just like, yeah, pop me in there, and I don't want to come back. But it'll be horrific. You want to know what it'd be like if you put William Shatner in a centrifuge to test him for 4Gs or whatever? Put a jelly donut in your dryer. Turn that on. That's what's going to happen.
It's just going to be jelly everywhere.
We'll see you next week. Be sure to check out that Linode link.
Bye.